I think I did it right. Sorry. Okay, I'll bring us back into session, back from closed session. Anything to report?
Nothing to report this time, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Roll call, please.
Chairman Jeremy Coe,
Present.
Vice Chair John Gish,
Here.
Director Robert Gleason,
Present.
Director Ty Payton,
Here.
Director Gloriana Rhodes.
Here.
Okay, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Any declarations of conflict of interest? Starting on my left?
None.
No.
No. Okay. Go ahead and start with presentations.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I'm going to go ahead and bring up Battalion Chief Craig Jones for introduction of our newly introduced reserve cadets.
Okay.
While he's mentioning your name, if you can stand up, that'd be great for the board to see you.
Thank you, Chief. Mr. Chair, directors of the board, as you know, we've talked about this for a little bit lately. The newest cadets of the reserves finished their academy April 5th, I believe it was the correct date, and they were in a 3-week academy. Well involved by our 2 reserve coordinators here tonight, and also the engine crews that were on duty. But Captain Scarper and Engineer Guzman are both here and a part of that program as well. So we wanted to make sure that you guys saw their faces and had an opportunity to meet them and take a photo and get their ID cards made at the same time. So we're kind of doing a couple things. So if I could have Stephanie Rock come up here on my right, maybe over here by Debbie on the podium. There she is. So Stephanie's new to the organization. She's worked with children for about 2 years in the preschool setting, and she was a vet tech for 2 years in college. Anthony Amarante, you can stay up here if you'd like, and we can get a photo of all you guys. Anthony was a native of Manteca who graduated Manteca High. He's currently an EMT, and he's planning on getting married in October of 2018. So exciting times for Anthony. Jordan Costa. Jordan graduated from Sierra High School. She's participated in the ROP program with the Lathrop-Manteca Fire District during her senior year of high school. So she's not new to the organization, but she's new as a reserve firefighter, which is great. She's currently attending Modesto Junior College and taking some fire science courses, and she's completed the first responder course and plans on taking an EMT course soon. Drew Davis. Drew graduated from Tracy High School. He's enrolling in Modesto Junior College, and he's also pursuing an AA degree in fire science. Dylan Foster. Dylan is currently certified as an EMT. He's completed Modesto Junior College Fire Academy in 2016, that spring semester. He's a volunteer with Burbank Paradise also, and he's a part-time firefighter with Rancho Adobe Fire District for the last year and a half. Vanessa Gonzalez. Vanessa's the mother of 3 young boys, lives in the community of Lathrop. She's a full-time student at Modesto Junior College, and she's pursuing her bachelor's degree in nursing. Cameron Green. Cameron did a career change with 10 years experience in the oil and gas industry. He's studied sciences of psychology at UCLA. He studied business at UC Davis, and he's looking to translate diverse background into meaningful career in the public service sector. Anthony Howard. Anthony is a veteran of the United Armed Forces. He's currently attending Las Positas College, and he's pursuing an AA degree in the fire science field. Dane Julian. Dane has his bachelor's in business economics from California State University, Long Beach. He's an ocean lifeguard first responder for 9 years in Southern California. John Legasa, my apologies. He was a fire explorer for Tracy Fire Department for 4 years and an auxiliary for Stockton Fire Department for a year and a half. He currently attends Las Positas College. He's pursuing his AA degree in fire science, and he's currently EMT certified in the state of California. George Polito. George is newly married and recently had his first baby boy. Graduated from Allen Hancock Fire Academy in Santa Maria, and he's worked 2 seasons as a reserve firefighter in the Wildland Department of Southern California. He's also currently an EMT qualified. Ryan Treat. Ryan completed the Modesto Junior Fire Academy in fall 2016. He has an AA in fire science, and he's currently an EMT as well. And last but not least, Nicholas Webb. Nicholas is currently an EMT in the state of California. He's completed his Modesto Junior Fire Academy. He possesses a State Fire Marshal's Firefighter 1 certificate, and he's married with 3 children. We are very excited to have all these folks aboard to join the ranks. And any further comments by the fire chief?
This is one of the first times I've seen it myself, and I'm welcoming you to our family. And graduation is going to be coming up pretty soon. I don't think we've finalized a date yet, but we'll be having a graduation for them and here at City Hall, and then be inviting them down. And if I can get the board to come on down, shake their hands, and take a picture with them, I would really appreciate that.
Okay,
Right.
do that now. First off, congratulations.
Congratulations to all of you guys.
Congratulations. Family.
Great. We're from Tracy. You get extra points, you know.
Welcome, part of the family.
Yeah, we're going to have the recruits come up around the table here.
We get you all around, like right into this area, that'd be great.
You're not saying the order that I had you up there.
Pick any order you want, sorry.
Now we find out who gets along.
Stay in that order.
You're in that picture too. Sorry, Director.
Let's take a look.
We don't want that.
Let's get one over here, one more, we'll even you out. I'm sorry, I'm going symmetric like that.
You got too many tile over the corner.
You guys all look in this direction. Smiles. Here we go. Perfect.
They want us, Chief. You're regretting that.
Whatever you want.
Chair.
Here, let me.
Some of these guys we want to block.
If we can get the first, the five, the last 5, come on up here, and if you guys can just take a knee right here in front of the board, that'd be great. All right. Squeeze in. All right. Perfect. Smiles. Here we go. Thank you very much. Just hold the smile. Picture real quick? I got it. Okay. All right.
Congratulations.
Say something. Stay for the meeting.
We're getting so young.
Thank you, that's for little.
You wouldn't know what to do if I was picking on you.
Exactly. I wouldn't be feeling welcome. I'd be like, what's going on? So, Mr. Chair, if the board wants to have comments for the young cadets, and then we can go ahead and break them off if they want to go home. And
She's coming. Well, once again, congratulations. Welcome to the Lathrop-Manteca family. For those of you that have family that came tonight, if you'd like to introduce them, you're more than welcome to at this point to acknowledge they're part of the family as well. Anybody? Somebody's family's here.
I came with my mom and my dad, and they brought my wife and my son.
Well, thank you, Mom and Dad and wife. And son. All right, thank you. Okay, comments from the board? I'll start on my right.
Thank you, and come here. Being that my oldest, who's 18, informed us the other day that he wants to be a firefighter, his dad is a firefighter, which is my son, I figured that I would have my little one look out there because there are 3 girls like you. Maybe when you grow up, you'll want to be a firefighter, okay? Love you. There's your mom.
Just welcome and congratulations.
Yeah, and same thing. Welcome and congratulations. I don't know anything about being a reserve, but I do know a little bit about being a firefighter. It is it's an exciting career, and I wish you luck in the future.
Well, I know a little bit about being a reserve. Yeah, back in the day. Welcome on board. It'll be exciting for the first couple of times you get woke up at 3 in the morning for a callback. And then after that, you'll be going, oh, it's raining, it's cold, but you'll still go because it is fun. It's a family. Welcome aboard to our family. And hopefully this is for you. It is a long career. And you get old and you can't really leave. Because you just can't. It's just knowing the guys, getting associated with them, watching them. People have kids and growing up and associations and doing all kinds of stuff, and it's different than any other dream you may have. So go live the dream.
Well, over 25 years ago, my first experience with getting into firefighting was with the ROP program at Lodi High. So, and started out as a reserve as soon as I turned 18. So, congrats for those that have got to this point, and I wish you the best in following your fire service career, if that's your choice. Otherwise, thanks for your service and dedication to the community. So thank you for that. Okay, and we'll move into public comments.
if we could take a
Oh,
moment,
yeah, okay.
just if they want to go ahead and they can be
Absolutely.
dismissed, and they don't have to sit through the meeting unless they want to.
We'll take a short 5-minute recess then.
Oh,
Yeah.
good, because
Yeah.
we need to go to the restroom.
Take off. That'll be fun. We'll have cake and ice cream.
Okay. get started.
Can't hear it.
I bet he did. I'm not like a good cook.
Yes.
You're a lot more qualified than. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, back from break. Go item 7, public comments or any comment cards? Okay. No public comment. We'll move on to the consent items.
Consent items 8.1, the April 6th, 2018 Strategic Operational Objective Planning Meeting Minutes. 8.2, April 13th, 2018 Budget Study Sessions Meeting Minutes. 8.3, April 19th, 2018 Regular Board Meeting Minutes. 8.4, Monthly Register of Warrants. 8.5, Receive and File April 2018 Incident and Training Report. 8.6, Receive and File Monthly Year-to-Date Budget Report.
Okay, just make a note that 8.1 is a revised copy. And I'll take a motion from the floor.
So we remove 8.1 and separate that since I wasn't present at that meeting.
Okay. I have a
Motion to carry 8.2, 8.3, 8.4.
Okay, motion by Gleason, seconded by Payton. Call for a vote for 8.2, 8.3, and 8.4.
Director Rhodes?
Yes.
Director Payton?
Yes.
Director Gleason?
Yes.
Vice Chair Gish?
Yes.
Chairman Coe?
Yes. Do I have a motion for 8.1? Or discussion?
I move we adopt it.
Second.
Okay. 8.1, motion by Gleason, second by Payton. We'll call for 8.1.
Director Rhodes?
Yes.
Director Payton?
Yes.
Director Gleason?
Yes.
Vice Chair Gish?
Abstain.
Chairman Coe?
Yes.
Okay, I think we also need to accept 8.5 and 8.6.
Yeah, I
So
just
I
noticed that.
I make a motion.
Were those red?
No.
Okay.
Yes, you did.
She read them, but I don't think I heard that in your original
It
motion.
wasn't in the motion, no.
No, it wasn't, because I didn't catch that they were red. Okay, sorry.
So I'm make a motion that we accept 8.5 and adopt 8.5 and 8.6.
I second it.
Motion by Payton, seconded by Vice Chair Gish. One more roll call.
Director Rhodes?
Yes.
Director Payton?
Yes.
Director Gleason?
Yes.
Vice Chair Gish?
Yes.
Chairman Coe?
And yes. Okay, scheduled items, 9.1, approve and adopt 2018 master plan.
Hand signals weren't working well enough, I had to do a little bit of I don't want her opening it up, I'll be there. So, thank you for getting us there. So the first item in the schedule, I'm sorry. First item in the schedule session, schedule items is going to be approve and adopt the 2018 master plan. And before I take any questions on that, I want to bring the board up to speed on the last one that was adopted was in 2000. And then we have a 2006. There was some minor changes to that. That was pretty much the last one that was done. So recognizing that the general master plan for the fire department had to be updated with the new stations coming in and for the board to kind of get an outlook of response times and future station locations and how the department's going to grow as a whole, I put this together for you to kind of answer some of those questions. So it has a lot of information in there. And I didn't know what to highlight and what didn't want to highlight, so I'm looking for the board. If they have any questions, I can scan through it if you'd like. But if you have any questions in regards to GPM flow or how that's calculated or station location, I can go directly to them and answer any of those questions.
Does everybody need a minute, or I'll start to my left?
I have nothing.
Okay.
I've just never seen personnel measured in GPM before. That was, is that
So,
common?
It is common when you're trying to, so when you're building a location or a facility, or you're trying to explain what does it take to put out a fire. So this master plan shows us, in an explanation of it, it shows us where and how come we say we need to be a 3 or a 5 minute response. So it's a mathematical problem that we say a firefighter can produce so much GPM and be able to respond with that amount of gallons per minute to extinguish a fire of a certain risk factor. So like a residential fire is somewhere around anywhere, depending on the size of the home, could be anywhere around 1,000 to 1,500 GPM would be required for the initial response to be able to extinguish that fire in certain phases of the fire. Where you get to a commercial property, which, a large facility, depending on the risk factor, what's being stored in the commodity, you may need up to 3,500 GPM for the initial response and up to 20 minutes after to extinguish that fire. So using those numbers that we know it takes a certain amount of, NFPA says it takes a certain amount of water to be able to produce, to suppress a fire, we can then say on a hose line, one firefighter can produce a certain amount of GPM, and if you put 2 firefighters on that hose line to suppress that fire, each firefighter can do that. So 2 firefighters on a hose team that would take a hose into a structure fire is anywhere from 275 GPM to 350, depending on the pressure behind the hose. So that's how you come up with those equations of how you can determine when you have a commercial property and you have a certain amount of commercial properties built within a certain distance from a station, it may require an additional staffing of stations in order to provide the service level of the general plan. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I understood it. I just.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but,
That's how we come up with that number.
right, good
Yeah.
explanation. The one thing I didn't understand was on the first page, it says that zones with high fire flow requirements, the schedule requires every point of protected area to be no further than 1.5 miles from a fire station. What does that mean?
So in zones with high fire flow, if you were to have, for instance, Simplot, a high fire flow facility, doesn't have a great suppression system in it, it would be a high fire flow facility. We don't want anything other than that to be no further than 1.5 miles from an engine company and 2.5 from a truck. To be able to meet the standard for NFPA.
Yeah, but we can't meet that standard, right?
For some of our stuff we do, that's high fire flow, yeah. We're about 1.5 miles. All the commercial property is less than 1.5 miles from an engine.
Really? Okay.
We have some of it that's outside of it, but we want to make sure that we have most of it within 1.5 miles. And 2.5 within the truck. That doesn't, not for a high flow or we don't have too much high, so that would be a zone. We don't have high fire flow within the rural area. They typically don't build that. We do have one in there, but that's going to be an exception, and that would be Delicado. That would be without, that's further than 1.5 miles and 2.5 to truck. There's going to be anomalies that happen.
Okay.
Again, those are recommendations.
Yeah.
Those aren't necessarily state or city or requirements. Those are goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not stated as such, but I get that.
They
Yeah.
may not be written by legislators, but when you look at the standard, industrial standards, and this is an industrial standard, we are held in tort law by industrial standards. So if we ignore industrial standards, we will be held, we can be held liable in regards to a tort claim. So it's important that we look at industrial standards when we put together our plans.
Any further comments or questions to this point?
On page 22 of the very nice put pamphlet, I would just like to see 32 and 33 included. It's overall Lathrop, and it's,
So,
I don't feel it's representative of our district.
so the only reason we weren't included in that is because the picture would be so small, you wouldn't be able to identify the location of them. So that, we did, when we were putting this together, this is an Esri program
Got it.
through ArcGIS. We can do maybe specifically just the rural, but if I did the overall, that it would be so, you wouldn't be able to identify which stations are where. And so,
If-
but I
if
can do
there's
one.
Yeah, if there's anything we can do, only because of the fact this becomes now a major document for years and years to come, because it is a plan. And I would hate to not, even if you had maybe just one more page where the other two are represented, or even where it's a smaller version. But, I mean, they are included in the.
I was gonna say, we did include them in-
Previously in the wording, it's just the map. Because
Yeah.
overall, it is the Lathrop-Manteca, rural district.
Okay. One thing that we did when I was reviewing this, and it's late, is I don't have the exact legend for those shades either. And so those are 4, 5, 6, and 8 is what you see in front of you.
Yeah.
So on the overall, I see five layers
I see 4.
on the overall one. 2, 3, 4, 5,
1, 2, 3, 4.
22,
The last page.
page 22.
Oh, you mean stations?
No, page 22, there's 5 shades.
Okay, let me look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 4, 5, 6. Oh, did you do something different with this one? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's probably what that is.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where 32 and 33 are missing.
So I do agree with Director Rhodes on that, because it does affect your 4, 5 totals by not having those stations on there.
Okay.
But I do also understand your reasoning as well.
I'm trying to, yeah.
Yeah. Believe me, in the long run, we'll get less, even if for small, than
That's an
than we
easy
will
add-in.
for,
We can add that in, and if the board approves this tonight, I'll just put it in there. I can bring it back if you want to see it added in, or we can just adopt it as added in, and then I'll add it in. It's up to you.
You don't even have to get rid of that page. You can just add a page that says overall district or something like that. And then, because, it's not a bad idea to just see what Lathrop looks like, but as long as and that way all you have to do is just insert the one page.
I think I'm going to do a combination of both. I'm going to do one, just the rural, and then I'm going to try to put one of the whole district in there.
Oh, wonderful.
And see if I can, it may not, at least we'll have it in there, and you can somewhat identify some of the areas, maybe correlate between the two. Looking at one, you can look at the other one and try to identify that actual
That's
location.
cool.
That's a great
Thank
idea,
you.
but
Thank
definitely
you.
need the legends. Okay,
Yeah, that ArcGIS doesn't give me the legend.
understood.
It doesn't like to extract documents that aren't Esri either.
A little bit of experience with
Oh,
it.
yeah, I know. I should be having you come in and do it, actually. It's a great document. It's something that we can live with and we can change if we need to as we go along. Should have been updated a little bit sooner, but we found some time and we found the need to make sure we got everything in there. Updated the positions for the master plan. Some of these were potentially not 2 part-time inspectors. That'll probably change as we grow more to full-time. Station locations, we have one so Summerston Drive is the 35, that's where we're at. We don't have an address for that. Is being built as we speak. Yosemite Avenue and McKinley, we're narrowing down that station location so that we can start planning for that and get the architect in place. I've been approached by both developments now. The Madruga South Lathrop Specific Plan and Gateway Project are starting to pull permits and do groundwork out there. And so that's going to grow pretty fast, and we're going to be looking at building that station within the next 24 to 36 months. The Clow station is the one that's north. That's going to be up there off of Clow. That one's coming in pretty fast too. We're getting a lot of development. The CLSP is finally starting to develop, and they're putting, you saw them doing groundwork out there now. When that commercial comes in and we start developing a little bit more out there, that one will come to fruition pretty soon too. River Islands is building like crazy out there. I don't know if they can even keep up with the roads and all the developers. They have, I think they have 7 developers out there now, or builders, I should say, 7 builders and 10 developments. So they sold 14 houses last weekend. So it's going pretty good. So that Station 38 may come pretty soon. So and then we got the personnel to get that taken care of. So I don't know if you want to see anything else specific. You had any questions on it? New station timeframes? Standard goal, 5 to 6 minutes. Some of the rule stuff. And again, we just want to meet a percentage of those when we try to provide. And this will be a good document that I can turn over to LAFCO when they do the municipal service review, which is coming up pretty soon for the rural districts again.
Our ISO grade was reduced?
Yes, it's a 3. And I think we're going to get less than that this next visit. I think we'll get a 2. We were close to a 2 before. I would love for us to get a 1. I think that would be a huge kudo for this organization. But I'll be happy with a 2. We were close. We were like 2 points away.
Stockton's now at 2.
I don't think so.
Are they still at 1?
No, they're 3. The only department in San Joaquin County that's a 2 is Lodi. And they're browning out stations now, so I don't think they would get that again.
Any further comments from the board? Any comments from the public? I'll entertain a motion.
I think that this is a well-done document. It's very well done. I was very impressed. I've got over 30 years in the fire service, and this is one of, if not the best master plan that I've seen. So I make a motion that we adopt it, accept it and adopt it.
Accept it as is, or with the?
As is with the
recommended.
the updated maps.
I'll second it.
Okay. I have a motion from Director Payton, seconded by Vice Chair Gish.
Roll call. Director Rhodes?
Yes.
Director Payton?
Yes.
Director Gleason?
Yes.
Vice Chair Gish?
Yes.
Chairman Coe?
Yes.
Okay, the next item is the preliminary budget. We are required to adopt the preliminary budget by the first part of June. And so we brought it to you during the budget study session. Nothing has changed. There will be some changes on the final budget when we adopt that in June at our June meeting. I do have some changes, but at this point, there's no changes in the preliminary budget. We're going to try to hold it to that, but I think I may have a couple changes coming in, and I'll bring them to you. And I'll bring them to you to adopt that. I do have the same presentation. I gave it to you. We can go through it if you'd like again, or we can just adopt the preliminary budget as is.
Mr. Chair, can I just ask something real quick? I personally, it's a long, presentation, and we really dissected it. I mean, we looked at it and we asked questions and everything else. But because we are going to make a motion at one point and take a vote on something that is being televised, if there was at least slide up there that has the overall, finished product. Not the whole presentation, but I can't remember the page I was going to mark it, that has in essence the bulk of the budget. That way people can see what it is that we're officially putting our, final touches on.
I do have that.
Yeah, I can't remember. Is that it?
So there is an overview and a summary of all of the revenue and all of the expenditures.
Yeah, I think that's the one I was thinking about too.
And if you have any questions, we can go back to any page you want to go back to.
Any comments from the board? Any comments from the public? I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we approve, let me use the exact wording in the, adopt preliminary 2018-2019 fiscal budget.
I have a motion by Director Rhodes, second by Director Gleason to adopt 9.2 as staff recommended. Roll call.
Director Rhodes?
Yes?
Director Payton?
Yes.
Director Gleason?
Yes.
Vice Chair Gish?
Yes.
Chairman Coe?
Yes. Item 10.1, Chief's report.
So a couple items for the chief's report. We're having the captain's test, and I think June 1st is going to be the schedule of the lab assessment portion. We got the written scores back, and we have some good candidates, and we're looking forward to move towards the lab assessment portion of the testing and be able to get in place some captains potentially for the new station coming in and be able to staff that station appropriately. So we're looking forward to that. The second thing is that Behind the Fire has been posting some stuff, and it's been we did a great, did I give you guys the update on the pancake breakfast? I'm not sure if I passed that on. So I think we did over $3,500 just in donations and raffle prizes. They did a phenomenal job because it was free breakfast. So everybody was invited to come, and I think some people when they walked through the doors, they were like, okay, what's this free breakfast about? But it was a great breakfast. We had some great volunteers out there. It was just a phenomenal event, and so I appreciate everybody's hard work and everybody from Behind the Fire and participating in that. I think it was a great event for our community. We're looking at hosting some stuff for our family to enjoy. So we have that's what I really love about this group. They're already putting on some small events, like they're going to do pizza and skating. So. They're trying to post it on the webpage for Behind the Fire, so I recommend the board look at those days. I also recommend that there's a GroupMe. I don't know if you've seen that app, but there's a GroupMe app that actually will notify you, and there's going to be putting information on the GroupMe app. So if you're not a Facebook fan or you don't do Facebook, then there's going to be a GroupMe app, and so you just ask to be added to that, and then it'll identify all the events. We have 2 days coming up for Six Flags for the families and friends of the organization that want to go to Six Flags, where we pay for your entrance and we pay for food, and we just get everybody together and have a great time. And there's going to be 2 days so that we can get all the shifts there. And then, of course, we got the fireworks booth coming in, and everybody's ready to participate with that. And then we'll have planning for the Christmas dinner, and it's just a great opportunity. But we'd love to see the board, not out there volunteering. If everybody's busy, we kind of, that's not what I'm trying to express here, but we'd love to see you at the events. Participate. The guys really enjoy seeing, and girls really enjoy seeing the board as part of that family unit that we talk about so much.
Do they have a Facebook page?
Yes.
Because I haven't seen it, so.
Closed.
Is it closed?
Yeah, but just
Yeah, but you can
click
request
in.
to join.
Yeah, they'll respond to you.
I think we were just closed for you.
I'm on it.
I'm glad the door was open.
No. But yeah, or if not, if you click on somebody that's in there, then we can invite you to it. I think that's how we got you that path, right? I can't remember, but yeah. So it's not that we're trying to keep people out. We just want to make sure that we get the right people in there. The Facebook should be open. The group me was more of, we just want that to be part of the group that's really part of the organization. So family and friends, of course, but so really great. It's a great opportunity for us to be utilizing that to really bring that family camaraderie and everything back into the fire service. Humanity is what I call it. We're bringing humanity back into the fire service. So I think it's going to help with the service level that we provide. Other than that, that's really what I had for the testing and the captain's test. We haven't got any other correspondence or anything except what I've given to you. The fire chief from Ventura did send us a letter, which it was more personalized than I expected coming from an organization. And so I really appreciated that. I know a couple of those assistant chiefs over there. I've worked with them on wildland fires. So that's a first-class organization, and I really appreciated that letter that reached us, and we'll be putting it in everybody's file and making sure everybody's available for it. So,
Was this emailed to all staff already?
no.
Oh.
So we can get that done, though, emailed to everybody. And I believe that is all I had.
I had one question about the testing. Are all of the candidates from in-house?
No, we had, I think, 6 outside candidates that tested with us. A couple of them made it. Well, I think 4 of them had made the cut on the written test portion. So it's good. It's a good pool.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Yeah. It's good. I think we'll have a good pool. And we may need that, right? We talked about that in length about the succession plan.
Any questions from the board on the chief's report?
I am probably forgetting something, so I'm sorry if I do.
Okay,
All right.
board comments. I'll start on my left.
I have no comments. None. It was a pleasure to see these young men and young women start their career. And,
I'm excited.
yeah, so that brings us, I mean, not to hash out the woman thing, but there's things that I'm seeing that's happening with us that I'm not seeing with other departments. And I mentioned it earlier, like Daenerys just swore in a couple of people, and they were just in their jeans and t-shirts, and we don't do that. And I was kind of like going, yeah, we make it memorable, and I think that's pretty cool. Then I see in other departments where they use their female firefighters to on recruiting posters. This could be you. So if there's a recruiting poster with men and women in their posters to try to bring in more young ladies into the fire service. But we're a class act. I think I got sworn in at 31's Bay, and it's so different than it was way back then. So where did you get sworn in? In the Bay?
Depends what position.
When you were reserve.
Oh, when I was a reserve?
Yeah.
I don't even think I was sworn in. Maybe sworn at, but never sworn in. That was that was a long time ago. And then as a firefighter, I was sworn in at like a city hall. But as a captain, I was sworn in the day room. And then, as you get older, as you get moved up, there's obviously this swearing in. And then I was sworn in as a chief in front of you guys at the Station 31 board meeting. So, God, that was almost 10 years ago.
And things change, and we're setting a kind of a memorable path for these.
I agree.
These firefighters, so
it's important. It's important to them. It's important to us as a family. It's important to their family, which means it's important to us.
Yeah. So that's.
I agree with you.
All my non-comments.
I do remember what I needed to tell you about, though.
Okay.
My eval's up, so does the board have a preference? We've been kind of going towards where the goals and objectives of the organization, when we do the strategic operational planning, become the evaluation points of my eval. A lot of organizations do that, and then they just evaluate the fire chief in closed session during that, and then they come out with a report. Or there's another section where you guys have used a form before. Would you prefer the form? We can make it available to you by the next meeting, and then you can,
I hate that form.
I know. That's,
At the conference, they really stressed the, using the SWOT and our goals and objectives as the foundation for the GM's evaluation, and we should stick with that.
okay, I'll produce that for you, a document, so you can look at it, review it, and then we can discuss it amongst yourselves, and you can bring me in and evaluate me.
Can I suggest something too? Perhaps if you and the chairman would also kind of talk a little bit before that meeting of what your expectations are as to the flow of this, because sometimes we just get a little confused as to what we need to do or where we need to go. But if you come in to that, understanding, kind of directing us, it would probably be easier.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Is that's something?
That was what I had, I'm sorry.
I was going to mention that I will not be at the June 21st meeting, so I'll need Vice Chair Gish to direct that meeting, and so I don't know if that plays in a part, or if you guys can do it without me, that's
It's totally up to you.
their time frame.
Yeah, no, there's no time
Requirement?
frame. I think my contract said you'd do it before the July, or, before the July, but we can do it after July. It's I have a few years left on my contract, so I don't think one month is gonna. So totally up to you. We can do it in July. You gonna be here July? Anybody gonna miss July?
Not on purpose.
So what I can do is meet with Vice Chair Coe and then go over the form and maybe come together with a kind of and meet with you, because you're not leaving, or I can meet with both of you or you, kind of look at the form, and then we can introduce the form and talk about it, and then next month do the evaluation.
Okay.
And in the legal world, we've started because we talked about it, and the moment you guys, so technically it's in process.
Okay.
So we are meeting, we may not have it completed maybe in June, but we have started the process.
Yeah. Sounds good.
There you go.
So sorry to interrupt
No problem.
as you're making your way around.
I've got no comments, even less than.
I really don't know who came to my house this morning, but whoever it was, oh, wonderful. Please, and whoever else was with you, thank you very, very much. Of the 30, I think, we've lived in Lathrop, I think, 36 years. And my husband, because of my husband, we've had to call twice. And it's so nice to know. I wasn't even home. The chief called me, and I really appreciate that. He is fine. My husband's been dealing with some health issues, and they've been moving medications around, and he's home, and he's fine. He's very loopy with whatever they gave him at the hospital. But thank you so much. And, it's interesting how we all need it. One thing also that I wanted to say, and this is not direction, Chief, because I can't really give you direction as one individual, but I've talked to so many people in the city of Ripon that are really upset and frustrated. I guess they're exploring a property measure, and if I don't know if it's the time, but some of the things that we learned through the process, they're experiencing now, and tactfully or whatever. We were able to, but I think that they might have gone, in a direction that wasn't and their benefit. And it has to do a lot with, they have a higher tax on convalescent homes. So they have it per room. So, I mean, just some of the things that I hear people talking about, I go, maybe we can be good Samaritan down the road and help them out if this one doesn't pass. And that's it. Thank you. Oh, and that's why my granddaughter was here, because I couldn't leave her with my husband because he was very loopy.
I'll just add on to the thing you brought up for Measure A. Fire service is important for our jurisdiction, and as fire service is just as equally important for Ripon. So whether or not mistakes were made, I wish them the best, because when there's a fire, when there's an emergency, you want them there. And we're very lucky to have the 13 new reserves and all the great paid personnel that we have here as well. And just to recap what I said earlier, June 21st meeting I will not be able to attend. So if there's no other further comments, I will adjourn this meeting till Thursday, June 21st.
All right, now there's no gavel. We'll talk to Chief Jones.